Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty rough news to go and cover over here, mainly because we're actually now seeing a brand new wave of these third-party botters and scalpers now slowly taking away a lot of different stock from a lot of different folks who actually need it. Now, we've actually seen some pretty rough stuff, if you guys have seen throughout these past few months. We've seen a little bit of stuff when it comes to, let's say, baby formula. We've seen a little bit of stuff, obviously, when it comes to consoles, PlayStation, Switches, Xboxes, GPUs, laptops, or whatever. And once again, we are now seeing even more folks pushing, and also a lot of just a really big supply issue when it comes down to even more contraceptives. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have actually had a chance to go and see a lot of the news. Now, once again, this is me just kind of talking more about like the actual scalping side of it, which I think we could all, no matter what you think on political side-wise, probably would agree. It's kind of rough and just not cool. It's not a cool thing to see. Now, granted, obviously, always be nice in the comment section down below, although you guys usually are pretty on top of that stuff, so always major props to all the homies in the community. But like I said, when it comes to this stuff, whether your belief is on either side, whatever it may be, this is so wrong. This is so rough, and I hate that I even want to go and talk about this because it's just a weird topic to bring up. So let's go and talk about it. Let's go rant about it because it just is really weird. Now, for some of you guys that disagree or hate me for whatever off this one, don't mind it too much. I just think it's like I just don't like the idea in general of proper items that people need on a day-to-day, whether you use it or you support it or you don't. Let's say for baby formula, especially one. That one was one that definitely. I don't know how I even feel about that. That was just a rough one. Or let alone all the other scalpers too as well. I think we could all collectively agree, no matter what you believe or what you think or whatever's going on, that when people have a chance to go and take these items that are very essential when it comes to people, when it comes to living, when it comes to all that stuff, it's not a good situation. Let alone it's for food in the future, let alone it's for water in the future, let alone for card games or whatever it may be. It's not cool. So a lot of stuff to go talk about. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the usual sell links all down below if you guys care about those, Twitter and Twitch room as well. And let's go talk about it. So as I mentioned, as you guys probably know, there's a pretty big case going on that was actually overturned as of this week. More so in regards to women, more in regards to pregnancy, everything else in regards to it too. I'm just not sure what I can go and say on YouTube or we get demonetized or get yelled at or whatever. So if I'm kind of skiing around that a little bit, that's probably why. But as you guys can go and see up on eBay, and as well as a lot of other various websites too, we are now seeing brand new scalpers that are now either running bots or also just normal general scalpers that are going to general stores, Walgreens, CVS's, or wherever it may be, Walmarts, etc., and then buying out a lot of stock for stuff like Plan B or other contraceptives, and then trying their best to go and turn a profit and also turn money after it. I can't even believe, when I started making these videos a few years back, when we started doing a lot of these PS5 and Xbox trackings, I never would have ever thought, number one, all these restocks would have gone on for so long, two, that I would have made videos on literal baby formula, and three, that we would somehow make videos on this. What on earth is going on in the world? What on earth is happening in general? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to even think. So kind of give you guys a little bit of context, as you guys know, a lot of this kind of turns more terms into the pregnancy side and baby side and everything else. Like I said, I'm kind of keeping it pretty straight line. I don't think my YouTube channel is the place for anything like that. So when it comes to that, typically what do you do to go and, try to yoink out a baby? You get things like Plan B, you get other different types of contraceptives. So as I've mentioned, we've been seeing a lot of overall issues with it. So as of right now, we're seeing that Amazon and Rite Aid are now, as of right this second, capping purchases of Plan B, and other different types of contraceptives, as well, just because there's such an overwhelming demand. So when it comes to that stuff, we are seeing women or seeing families that are going ham. They're buying as much as they can. And we've also been seeing reports even on TikTok, on Twitter, of folks that are literally just buying, they're just going to the aisle and just going whoa, and just grabbing literally everything, putting in their cart and going from there. So, we've been seeing a lot of issues throughout these past few days with it. Thankfully, though, as you guys can even see right under it, CVS is lifting the cap, and Walgreens says as of right now they are meeting demand for in-store purchases. But, as I mentioned, we have now been seeing, once again, botters and also just other various scalpers trying their best to buy out as much stock as they possibly can to flip it on other different websites, such as Facebook Marketplace or eBay or anything else too. We've also been seeing this, but I think this might be a meme, and in all honesty, it's kind of funny. We've also been like seeing like a lot of people mess around too when it comes to StockX, which is a very popular like shoe reseller. Some people do consoles on that one, where they also go and have the Plan B one step over on literal StockX itself. Now, I think this is more of a joke. I tried to find it on StockX, I couldn't find it, but like, I mean, first and foremost, it's $1,500 too, which is kind of a lot. But it's just crazy for me to see this because it's just a weird item to go and basically try their for everyone to try their best to go and mass hoard and get as much of it as they can. Kind of the same thing when it came to baby formula. When it came to baby formula too, it was just one of the weirder and stranger things out there, where we had people that were literally running PlayStation 5 and Xbox bots, and they were mass buying out stock. Think like Target, Walmart, Amazon, whatever was out of stock. And they're just like, I kind of get a little bit worried about the future in general, where the future is just like, is this what every in demand or on the occasional, like whenever like a lot of people start panic buying stuff, think like toilet paper, is this just going to be the norm? Or just is every single time they're just going to be filled with botters that are trying their best to buy out the stock and turn a profit on pretty much anything they can? Because I remember even seeing them when, back in 2020, cases of people that were doing like mass, huge, like bulky buys of like hand sanitizer and trying to resell it, or as I'm sure you guys remember, the toilet paper shortages or even canned foods. We were seeing people that were just so gung-ho for it, going in store, trying to buy it, trying to pick it up, whatever they could. And now we're seeing this on other different types of objects that people need. Like, it's just a really, really weird situation that we're in right now as a world for how people are getting these goods, just for the general sense, the goods from all these big retailers. And especially now whenever we have things like, like Amazon that are now calming down the like they basically have to go and bottleneck all these things so they can even go and dish them out. It's a very crazy situation to go and see with this. So basically Amazon is now limiting how many emergency contraceptives consumers can buy, joining other retailers who put in place similar caps following the Supreme Court decision overruling Roe v. Wade. Amazon's limit, which temporarily caps purchase of the contraceptives at 3 units per week, which in theory you probably don't need more than that, I would assume. I personally have never actually used these myself. This actually went into effect as of Monday. A spokesperson for the e-commerce giant confirmed to the Associated Press the company did not share further details on what emergency contraceptive products were limited for purchase, but a listing showed the cap applied to Plan B and the popular morning after pill. Now, for me to go and kind of throw in a comment, it's almost weird because as of right now, we have like PlayStation, Xbox invitations. So like, is this how everything's going to have to be running in the future? Granted, this is like, I think the supply is not so astronomically bad, like compared, say, to consoles or, say, to baby formula right now, because I think a lot of the baby formula stuff was more so tied on in with, I think, some factories having recalls and having to be shut down, which also, that just affects overall stock for everything, and then people have to go, and instead of using that brand, they now have to do the other ones, and then people hear about it, and they get worried, and that is kind of one that I think the biggest, notices is whenever people worry, that's when people, botters, scalpers, that's their time to shine. That's when they're like, we got to buy out the entire store to make people even more worried, and then people are then trying to go their best to check eBay and Facebook and stuff like that to find and get as much stock as they can. So this is just weird. Like, I don't really know how to make a proper video on this because it's just a very strange situation that I think shouldn't really happen. And it's also a very strange thing to see people trying their best to profit off of this. Although, as we've seen from the PlayStation, Xbox, and GPU restocks, even Switches, etc., scalpers are going to try their best to turn money any way they can. Whether it comes into toilet paper or, as I mentioned, hand sanitizer, people are going to try their best to go and get it as soon as they can. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Obviously, I try my best not to make it political. I'm just trying to keep it, pretty, like, we're a gaming channel, like, I'm keeping it just the fact that people keep on pushing for these in-demand objects, and it does seem like a very consistent trend, whether it's for food, whether it's for toilet paper, whether it's for consoles. Although, rightfully so, consoles, you can kind of get by without it. It's annoying, but I'm more worried about, like, what if there's a water shortage and then we have now botters buying out all this stock? Stuff like that. It always makes me worried about the future of how this is going on. So I just think this is kind of messed up. I think it's a weird video for me to make. Don't get me wrong. I don't try my best not to do too many of these strange ones. But like at the end of the day, what on earth is happening in this world? This is just a like this is just not what I expected I'm making videos on, you know. So I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Give me your thoughts down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have all the Amazon links down below, the Twitter and Twitch streams, all that good stuff, Xbox and stuff down below. And I appreciate y'all so much for watching.